Welcome to RTBro's Trading Academy, where we only focus on the charts, completely ignore the news because it can be manipulated, and also ignore fundamentals because it cannot be quantitatively valued. Now, there's been a lot of movement over the last 24 hours or so, and we are at an incredibly important level, and I cannot wait to dive in and talk to you guys about it. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, this is a critical level, okay? And it doesn't maybe look like it yet, but whenever I really dive in here, you're really going to get your mind blown on how important this is. So, this right here is a 4 hour level, and we talked about it yesterday. Now, technically, we have lost it, and right now we are currently trading below it. But, like I mentioned yesterday, I'm okay with trading underneath it for a short amount of time because we have another critical level right beneath it. And this is the golden pocket retracement of the entire structure. Okay. The golden pocket retracement of the entire structure. So, what that means, you go right here from the very bottom to the very top, and you see the 0.618 to 702 is right here, right? This actually looks like it may be off a little bit. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. I just missed it whenever I was drawing. I was like, wait a second, that's not right. Right here is our golden pocket. Now, the 618 to 65 is generally considered the golden pocket, but I actually extend mine all the way down here to the 702. So essentially, this entire region is a massive, massive level of support. So I don't know if it's really a good idea to be selling right above the golden pocket. To me, that historically is generally not a good idea. Now, I have a video that I talk about the golden pocket and Fibonacci retracements really, really well, and I dive into it and really give a few examples of it on how important it is. I'm going to go ahead and link it above my head. Okay. But obviously, we have more to talk about in this video than just the Fibonacci retracement. That's one main thing as to why I really don't think right now it makes a ton of sense to be dropping off the market. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about, there's a lot of bearishness in the market right now, and a lot of people are really, really freaking out, and they think that the whole market is just going to collapse to nothing. I've received a ton of private messages and just a lot of chat and everything else, just talking about how the market's just ultimately done. Well, this is the interesting part, right? So right back here on 11 February, these are the two scenarios that I laid out. We're either going to bounce right here or bounce right here. Well, we did bounce right here. We came down here, we touched it, and we continued back up for a little bit before we did ultimately come down here to our second target. But we're essentially still following the plan, guys. I don't understand why people are freaking out that much about this drop. This is still a completely healthy correction as of right now. All right. Now, obviously, it sucks and it's scary, but I remember just 2 weeks ago how incredibly bullish people were up here, right? And they were thinking that we're going to go straight to, 60,000 and, make new highs right here. Whenever I was over here giving caution. So ultimately, it doesn't really make sense to be bearish right here whenever this is the key level that we have been waiting on for the last few weeks. All right, so it doesn't really make sense to be bearish here. However, and I'm going to make this very clear. If we lose this golden pocket, yes, right there with you. I think it is an absolutely bearish sign if we do lose this level. And this is the point where I would legitimately be talking about how we are going to go tremendously lower. Okay. Our first stop is down here at the $29,000 region. However, it's not unrealistic for us to drop quite a bit further down. Okay. However, right here is not the place to be bearish. It doesn't really make sense to me. So, golden pocket retracement, we're still playing around with this 4 hour breaker. This is a key level that you guys can see. Okay, this was formed. We tested it. We tested it. We tested it. We broke above. This still looks like very standard retest of this structure. And this is a very key level that has not been lost yet. Okay. I know the 4 hours been lost, but realistically, guys, I wouldn't be too concerned just yet. All right. I say that with a caveat. It doesn't look great, right? But we haven't actually lost anything that significant yet. So, other key levels I'm looking at, okay, if we are to push up from here, this daily breaker block is going to provide some sort of resistance. You can see it on here as a more of a tight consolidation cluster, right? And that's what breakers are. So when we come back up here, because we do have this tight consolidation, we would expect some sort of resistance here, right? So that's my first level of resistance. Not only that, the 4-hour 200 moving average is also here. So we do have a very important level right here that we do need to get back above. However, if we do get above this consolidation, which includes the 4-hour 200 moving average, then we actually have a really, really good chance that the bottom is actually in, and we are going to continue back up to where my $53,000 to $58,000 region I've been targeting for quite some time. All right. However, one step at a time. So if we do get back up here, this is the key test. Get above there, and I think we're essentially free skies for quite a while, at least to retest this monthly breaker, right? Or the weekly breaker and also the monthly breaker back above it. Especially if we can get above the yearly open, to me, that would be an incredibly bullish sign, in which case I think that 53 to 58 is absolutely in the cards. And of course, at that point, we can possibly start discussing new highs. But again, ultimately, until we do start showing some more bullishes above that level, I'm not even going to consider new highs in the picture. All right. Next thing to talk about is a market cap. Total market cap had a really strong bounce off of a very key level. This is a 3-day level right there, as you guys can see it. On the lower time frame, it's very clean. On the higher time frame, it's not really wonky. But ultimately, come down here, tap this 3-day level. I think we mentioned this yesterday, if I remember correctly, and it looks like we're bouncing very nicely. And this is what we want to see, guys. This is a very, very good sign. Also, let's go over here. I'm going to pull up one more thing. This is going to be on the, if I can grab it. I'm losing my mind, guys. Where's it at? There it is. Okay. Funding rate. Guys, funding rate is still incredibly negative. Okay. Incredibly negative right now. So on the 4-hour, it's not so bad, but on the daily, it's absolutely just horrible. This is extremely negative funding at the golden pocket after as a retest of this massive support level. This is a support level. There's no other way to look at this. This is absolutely a massive support level. The golden pocket's right underneath it, and we have extremely negative funding. That means a lot of our short positions, or a lot of shorts, are currently in a compromisable position because they're overexposed and are paying additional interest and fees to the long positions, right? And that's essentially how that works. A little more complicated, but that's overall what we're looking for. So funding still looks really good. This is what we want to see. Another thing I'm interested to look at is the extreme fear greed. Guys, we're still in extreme fear, and extreme fear is generally a good place where you should be looking to take positions go to the upside, right? Now, you shouldn't be trading only on this, but when you have confluences like the golden pocket, like the 4-hour support level, like all these other things that are also playing into effect, I do like to look at the fear and greed as an additional confluent factor. All right, now let's go to the total three. Total three. It looks a little bit weaker than Bitcoin for sure. However, this is the important thing, guys. We are now back to our very, very major support level, right? And until this support level is lost, it's still a very, very key level. And I've talked about this in previous videos, but this right here is a very important level to include. This is the golden pocket retracement of this entire structure right here. You guys see this 0.618 to 702 right here. We are inside the golden pocket for this second time. Now, the more we are here, the less likely it is to hold. But for this important of a level and how everything else is also on support, I would not be surprised one bit that we are going to continue back up, guys. This does not look unhealthy right now. All right, now the next thing let's go over is going to be the Bitcoin dominance, right? Bitcoin dominance is the relative strength between Bitcoin and altcoins. So as this number drops, altcoins are showing additional strength compared to Bitcoin. So if you're an altcoin trader like myself, you want to see this drop. If you are a Bitcoin only trader, you want to see it increase. Now, since I trade alts, I like seeing it drop. And right now, we are actually having some downward pressure, some downward momentum is playing out. And this has actually been respected really, really well. This 4-hour level still looks very important. We tested it, broke above, come back down, held it as support for a while. We did fall through, rejected, got above for a while, and now we are starting to fall back down below. So recently, the 4-hour level has lost significance, but it still looks like we're we're showing bearish signs, guys, and this is a really good sign if you are an altcoin trader. All right. Now, ultimately, I do want to see us get back below the 200 moving average on the daily. That's the key thing that really is going to get me excited. And ultimately, I want to see us get back below this weekly level. Now, the weekly candle did close today, and we did close with a pretty bullish hammer here, which is not a good thing for our altcoin, especially on the Bitcoin dominance pairing. But doesn't look overall that bad. I do like seeing it rejecting down. And the next thing on here is the DXY. The DXY opened up just a few hours ago, and we're dropping. Okay, that means the strength of the US dollar is decreasing pretty hard, and that's good, right? Now, ultimately, I want to see this drop down below this 3-day level, because the 3-day level is the main level that I'm really been looking at and really trying to play. And so far, it's been respected really well. This also very well could be a retest of this trend line. Let's go back and check it out real quick. Not as clean on that chart. Nah, disregard on that. However, guys, ultimately, if we get back below this 3-day level, I think we're going to be able to really start dropping, right? And this chart essentially trades inversely to Bitcoin, okay? So when, or cryptocurrency as a whole. So that means whenever DXY is decreasing, Bitcoin is increasing. When DXY is increasing, Bitcoin is decreasing, right? Because think of it this way. You are either selling your crypto for cash, which increases the value of the cash and decreases the value of crypto, or you are selling your cash for crypto, which will decrease the value of the cash, right? And it will increase the value of crypto, right? And this is like on a macro perspective. So generally, these two do go inversely, and the same thing also applies to stocks and equities as well. So we want to see DXY drop. That's a really, really good thing for crypto, right? And we really want to see that. So ultimately, I think it still looks fine. Nothing really too concerning right now, guys. I like we're at a pivotal point. All right, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. This is a very critical level. Okay, but I don't think right now is the time to panic sell. I really don't think it is. All right, we're still at major supports across the board. I'm not freaking out at this point. I honestly think it's still going pretty slow, and it's and what we should be expecting for this sort of market conditions. I think I've laid out what my levels are, and I think everything should make sense. And you guys basically know what I'm looking for and why I'm really not stressing about the current market structure and what's been going on in the market. So, outside of that, make sure you guys do watch the Trading 101 series. It's a really, really good series. I think it's probably the best content you're going to find on YouTube. This really goes over how to trade from a very, very beginner all the way up to like an expert sort of level. Not only that, make sure to like and subscribe to this video. Like always, I usually don't say it, but it is really important. And if you leave a comment, I will respond to the comments. There's a lot of trolls in there, so don't get it, don't get scammed by anybody in there. But any legitimate comments, I do try to respond back to. So if you do that, I'll try to do that. And of course, join Discord, guys. So outside of that, I'm gonna let you guys go. Have a fantastic evening, and I will see you guys in the next video. Like always, deuces, boys. I'm out.